Alright, sorry about that, guys, but my parents we're kind of going through a thing where we're clearing our carpet, so let's just continue on. No, then, it's frightened. Are you frightened because of this blackmail letter? I found this in the main hall. It is addressed to you. What? Well, Iris. Why are you glaring at me like that? You're scared to the blackmailer who wrote this, correct? Hey, Blake. Was it the evidence or the power of my glare that broke that lock? Oh well, I don't suppose it matters either way. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? I thought that letter was just someone playing a prank on me. A prank? Well, yes. After all, even if I did have a secret, there's no one to tell me without it caused me any grief. I wonder about that. Sister Bikini is like a mother to me. I would never hide anything from her. No, you may not have anything to hide under normal circumstances. Oof. However, last night was different. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact nature of your secret yet. However, whatever it is, there is one person you didn't want your secret told to. Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright. You mean something to Wright, it seems. And I can tell he holds a special place in your heart as well. That's why you didn't want him of all people to know your deep, dark secret. Well, what do you have to say? I should have expected as much, especially from a friend of his. There we go. After dinner, this letter was waiting for me in my room. As I said, I was frightened by it. What is this heavenly hall the letter mentions? It's a small mountain shack at the base of Dusky Bridge. A small shack, huh? It's more like a broken down shack that no one would ever want to go near. Where is it on this map? It's around here. Yeah, here you must follow a small path down from Dusky Bridge. The reality is, to get to the inner temple, I had no choice but to cross that bridge. But the thought of such a terrible crime could be lurking in a heavenly hall. I was so scared by the whole affair that I didn't even want to think about it. So that's the secret you locked away in your heart? Yes. This is why I may have to visit this heavenly hall now. Maybe I'll find some sign of our mystery blackmailer. In any case, you still claim to have never left your room last night. Yes, that's exactly right. The trial starts tomorrow. I promise you I will win. I'm gonna win so that you and Phoenix Wright can see each other again. But when I do, you must promise me that you will tell him your secret. It's pointless. Why would you say that? Because I may know who Phoenix Wright is, but he has no idea who I am. And hey, there's all the nations of the world. Whoa, not much of a view down here, huh? Still better than the view from my apartment, though. Someone's here. Hide yourself, detective. Oh, why? Why does this always happen? Whenever I find a girl I like, they always run away. I even chased one of them to Japan. They're just gonna be prison, I guess. I'll steal the detective's wallet. That'll get me locked up for sure. Yeah, I can't do that to someone who looks like he's down on his luck. He's just talking to himself. Shh! Be quiet and listen. I knew it. I shouldn't have done that. I blew it again. Done that? What did he do, I wonder? Hey, you! About what you just said, I got an objection! What the? Edgy, you dirty rat! Gumshoe, you... Oh! I'm sorry, sir. Before I knew it, I was shouting out objection. And in a loud, commanding voice, too. I even pointed with my pointer finger. You've watched too many trials. I'm sorry. Okay, Larry, the jig is up. What have you got to say for yourself? What's this little shack, anyway? Well, I just discovered it myself yesterday. And why are you down here in the first place? Come on. I'm an artist. I was looking for a good place to sketch. This is a great little place. It's artistic. It's quiet, it's cold, it's got no power, and it looks like it's about to collapse. Sounds a lot like my apartment there, pal. One thing's for sure. No one is likely to show up and disturb you here. So can I get you something to drink? Some hot water, maybe? Getting all buddy-buddy on us, sir. Listen to me, Edgy. You gotta do this. You've gotta save Iris. Why are you so sure she's innocent? Because she's cute? Watch your mouth! Anyway, I made up my mind about it. I'm going to marry that girl. Mr. Edgeworth is pretending he didn't hear you, so I'm gonna ask for him. Have you already asked this girl to marry you? No, not yet. I can tell how she feels by the look in her eyes. She's got this, I really want this man to carry me over the threshold look. I'm sure Nick would be surprised. He never imagined I could marry such a beautiful girl like that. Something tells me he would be shocked indeed. That's why I didn't want her to do anything dangerous. I mean, what am I gonna do if she gets hurt? What's this guy trying to say? He's lost me about a mile back. If we really want to know the answer to that, we're gonna have to drag him onto the witness stand. Come to think of it, you still haven't answered my question. Where were you and what were you doing last night? Oh man, don't you have anything else to talk about? With that kind of attitude, you'll never be a ladies' man like me. Okay, chill out. Chill, don't scare your eyes, I got it. If you really want to know, last night, I saw something incredible. Something incredible? Yeah, let's not talk about that now. Let's talk about the good old days. What do you say? Come on, I'll pour you a nice cup of hot water. Why hasn't he realized I absolutely despise talking about the good old days, especially with him? You know what, Larry? I think I might have enough evidence right now. Nonsense spiritual power, activate! Alright, now you're going to tell me what you really saw last night. Oh, you're really upset, aren't you, Edgy? Okay, I'll talk. Huh? That was a bit too easy. Yeah, anyway, it was awesome. Never seen anything like it. At around 10 o'clock last night, it started thundering. I'd been sleeping. I'm not sure for how long. Suddenly, zing! The road in front of me went white. Like I'd just been slapped in the face by my old girlfriend, Naomi. And then, it was on fire. The bridge was on fire! Dusky Bridge caught on fire? Are you saying you saw with your own eyes? Hey, what are you giving me the evil eye? I'm telling the truth. There's still 3 cycle arcs remaining. Hey, Diamondite. That means he's still trying to hide something. Oh, by the way, Diamondite, you got any predictions for Full Gear? By the way, Larry, where were you when you saw that happen? What do you say? What do you mean? What do you mean, what do I mean? Just answer the question. I was in my own room, by the main hall. Where else would I be? As usual, you're as transparent as an empty jelly jar. The problem, I suspect, lies there. There? What do you mean, there? It's impossible for you to see lightning strike on Dusky Bridge from your room. Because... It'd have to be the map, right? It's gotta be a map. Take that! I was right. This is a map of the area. Take a look around the vicinity of Hazakura Temple. What am I looking for? I think that should be fairly obvious. The main hall is surrounded by trees, and it's impossible to see the bridge from there. What? Why didn't you tell me that before? Look at a map, idiot. Well, how about it? How about what? Do you feel like talking now? About what? Looks like it won't be that easy after all. You leave me no choice. I'll have to move on to the next step. You weren't in your room at the temple. So then, where were you? You don't know where I was in my room? So where was Larry and why was he there? If I read the situation up to the point correctly, the answer is fairly obvious. Very well then, let's test my theory. The place you witnessed lightning strike Sardusky Bridge was from... here! The place you saw the lightning strike from was, naturally, Heavenly Hall. Why would I be hanging around in this old shack? It's freezing cold, there's no electricity, and it could fall apart any minute. Larry? How do you know that anyway? How do you know there's no electricity? After all, it's not that dark yet. Oh. In other words, you have just provided evidence to prove my theory. My theory that you've at least once in your life visited Heavenly Hall after sunset. I have to admit, I'm impressed, Edgy. You're in a totally different league from Nick. That's nice. Now tell me, what were you doing in this cold little shack last night? That's what you might call a fair decor? What do you mean, a fair decor? Could it be you were waiting for someone? Oh no! You really are one scary guy, you know? I believe that last night you were waiting for this person to come meet you. It's no secret, Iris! There's only one person you'd wait for in a horrible place like this, Larry. Whoops. I told you before, don't call me Larry! The person you were waiting for was Iris. Oh, suddenly I feel cold all over, Edgy. Deal with it. Now move on. No doubt because of my chilly glare. So you think I got the odds with Sister Iris, huh? Do you have some kind of evidence? You got something that proves I was waiting for her? Or are you just guessing? This is where I draw the line and end this particular film game. Here's the evidence that proves you were waiting for Iris. Then no. Here's your evidence. You called her to the spot with a pathetic blackmail letter. Oh, hey, give it back. You're embarrassing me. What are you doing with that anyways? That's not important. I misjudged you, Larry. Oh, shit. Larry Butts, blackmailer? What do you mean? Taking advantage of a woman's frailty like that? You should be ashamed of yourself. Oh. First of all, what's this at the top of the letter? It says, salutation here. Well, that's what it said in the book, Letter Writing for Dummies. Dummy, you're not supposed to actually write that. That's what you're supposed to write, Dear Iris. I'm so sorry. So you were here in Heavenly Hall last night, weren't you, Larry? And you saw the lightning hit Dusky Bridge, didn't you? Sorry, Edgy. Sorry doesn't cut it, you scumbag. Threatening a young lady like that. Wait, hold up. What now, pal? What are you talking about? What threatening stuff? I'll tell you what. You try to scare Iris by threatening to expose her secret, pal. What do you mean threaten? When did I threaten her? Unless you want the secret to be exposed. That sure sounds like a threat to me, pal. Blackmail, in fact. Give me a break, it's a love letter. Have you ever been in love? What did you just say? I love her, it burns so hot, me can smell all the snow in this mountain. Oh? And what is the secret you mentioned? Come on, Edgy. Can you get it? I'm talking about the secret love between her and me. Obviously, she wouldn't want old lady Bikini to know about it, right? About our hot and sour, bittersweet love affair? Alright, then why'd you send a love letter in a business-like manila envelope? Give me a break, it's not my fault. I didn't have any other envelopes. Yeesh. And why are you so quick to apologize, pal? It's because Edgy gave me that scary look of his. What's wrong, Edgy? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? That's it? That's what all those huge locks were about? I don't understand why you were so defensive. Well, I don't know either. The thing is, You shouldn't expect too much from a guy like me. Hey, come on. Don't let it get you down. But Mr. Edgeworth, this guy's still hiding something. I know it. What do you mean, Detective? Don't forget what this guy said just a minute ago. If you really want to know, last night, I saw something incredible. He's right. Larry! What? You're looking at me like a hungry dog just found a bone. What was this something incredible you saw last night? You're going to tell me, Larry, one way or another. I'll plunge your head into this icy river if I have to. I already told you, didn't I? I saw lightning strike Dusky Bridge. Yes, and I believe it was an incredible sight you saw. But now that I think about it, something doesn't quite ring true. What does it? That's all there is to your story. Your heart wouldn't have had all those locks. Therefore, Larry, I do believe you saw something last night. Something more incredible than lightning. What? When? Where? Why? How? Hey, what do you think you're doing? If you hide anything from Mr. Edgeworth, I'll arrest you on the spot, pal. Oh, shit. No! What's wrong, sir? Does this mean I have to do it all over again? Why are you calling to me like I'm next to be hit by a bolt of lightning? Just about had of it, this harlequin. If I really want to drag the truth out of him, I'll just have to drag him to the witness stand. But we're going to continue onward. So we're still playing as Edgeworth. Might as well see how he is in the defense stand. Oh my, Mr. Lawrence feels that way about me? Apparently. He isn't aware of your real secret after all. There's no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. It's just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Worry not. In any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Larice is the witness today? No. I believe that nun will be the first to take a stand. Sister Bikini. She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Dunham, correct? That's correct. It wasn't me. Very well then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed, don't worry. I've made the necessary arrangements. I see. Iris, it's a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I'm a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth, I simply ask you to watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I've been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It seemed this case is already over before I had a chance to begin. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds a defendant... Objection! Franziska? The prosecution stands ready. And you are Franziska von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. Von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. Legends are a thing of the past. I am Von Karma. That is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case. You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss Von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as a man among those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't? But I'm sure once before this... Ah! I told you there is no such weakling! What is that? A whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip and... I have no objection to the whip. You don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I have expected to face Phoenix Wright here today, but looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers! I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court! Oh, the stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, please give an outline of the case, with as little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Stoneham. Her body was found in the Azakura Temple courtyard. She has been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in the picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts the photo of the crime scene. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. So it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold on here. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. What are you sure about, Canadian judge? Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for a back pain plagued witness. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little me? Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple at Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Oh, the courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? None of you get your bikinis in the twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say, then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh? I like that they even put about instead of about. I like that. Kind of confirming this judge is indeed Canadian-born. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up, violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath in the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back, that's when I saw it. So it was simply coincidence you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. This sounds like a pretty important statement you just made. There is only one problem with the testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Miles Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. What did your testimony say again? Ring lights out bell at 10. No one's in the room until the hour. That doesn't sound right. Oh, that's right! Iris said that she was never there. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on the powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, well, well. Don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hezekura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No! She said that? A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie to you, suppose? The defendant is simply trying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hezekura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. Ah! All people lie. That is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means you must call your memory into question. Dear, dear, dear. You're older than me, and yet you want to play that game, don't you? Oh, well, that isn't exactly what I... Memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Then, I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you're going to question the memory of the witness, you will need to show a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. And please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. Let us return to the cross-examination. Damn that, I was humping... Iris came to the temple. Are you sure that you're not making a mistake? You, young man, need to get your estimation of me up from the floor. Iris always wears the same clothes. The smallest thing out of place would have stood out like a sore thumb to me. You're making a mistake. Thinking I made a mistake. An excellent finish there, witness. Still, I have to wonder. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon-warding hood, correct? Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wait a minute. Hold it right there! Why do you have that? That's a question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Karma? I'll have you know this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, and the Iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Well, well, well! Order! Order in the court! What? Sister, this hood, you have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see. A stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. And this is quite strange. If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. Sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on the way back to the inner temple. The seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. after my bath. I finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and Iris was... Oh, Mystic Elise. I want that sword of all things. Mystic Elise was standing in the corner room, which faces out in the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court, and me seeing it all from this very chair. Well, something like that. Judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look a fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? Autopsy. Cause loss of death from stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after death.
Objection!
Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say anyway. Oh, please do! My brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think you're overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Ah, that's right! It says after death right here. The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Ah! Order! Order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that's the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room, and she was then thrown out of her window down into the courtyard below. Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Dunham's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? Ah! No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. However, if there is no blood in the room, then you claim... Ah! I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure your honor is well aware. A one stab wound produces the most blood. And it produces the most blood? Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood will be lost from the body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on a wound. That's true. With the weapon still in the blood, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. Order, order, order! I must admit that there is probable vision of events. I expect no less from Francisca Von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. Huh. It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please! Remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. With the whip? Oh boy. Alright, alright. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mr. Elise. I'd never seen so much blood before. That's why I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mr. Gamey was stabbing Mr. Elise through the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Francisco Von Karma. I'm here to teach you just that. I've never seen so much blood before. So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it splattered onto Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in a corner. What? Her clothes are blood-flecked as well? That seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Press this point further? Going back to your previous statement, you said you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed, but now you say you saw the victim bleeding. Well, I say that's what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day. Pulling the sword out? Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out. Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony. Was that important? More important than you can imagine. I saw the instant in which the blade plunged into the hilt was drawn smoothly out. You mean this blade? Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I'd like to think so, but there were too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to the hilt in the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain. Explain yourself. To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble. I too may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, so I should choose. The objection stands. I wept a little back there, Mr. Vic. This isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in the body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with Tashichi Shito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss. I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction. You still got more? This one is simple. If the sword really was thrusting all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. No! Order! What? Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single point of evidence. All the other attorneys I know can maybe manage one at that. What does this all mean? You've proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but haven't come this far to only one answer. And that is? The weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shito. What? A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made it seem to serve as a murder weapon? Well, it's because Mr. Amy was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shito was the murder weapon. Order! So maybe the Shito is not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. It's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes. Namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall in the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. That's... Answer the question, Miss Von Karma. No evidence of that kind was found. Another mystery to throw into the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me, can I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible, just maybe, what actually happened was, it's just over there. What exactly are you going on about here? A murder weapon, I mean. Maybe, I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. You what? Well then, I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible. What else? What else could this old woman have seen? I saw the murder at about 11 p.m. And after asking that it was reported, I went out to the main gate. And there, I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She could drive a snowmobile after all. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of shape. Well, my back and my age, you know. Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here is a photograph. A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. That solves a pesky little problem, yes. The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. I saw tracks. As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it. That's the only one we have. Oh, it'll run no matter how much snow falls. Now you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So, she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time. I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question. Is it still warm at that time? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, hey? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to a slow crowd here. Goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used. Ah, I see. Never thought of that. That's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did. You answer the question, please, witness. I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it? Curses! It's highly likely the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh? How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile? Ironman's photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If that was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back. Ah, you're right! You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes their precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in the theory? The idea of the snowfall covered one side of the tracks? The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that's impossible. Would you care to explain why there is a rude index finger currently pointing in my general direction? No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge. In order to dispose of the murder weapon, the outgoing tracks were erased by snow, or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed a crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course. This means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It's the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7, but it stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when his sister witnessed the crime at 11, the snow had already stopped falling. It's impossible for any tracks to be made after that time to have been covered up. Order in court, eh? Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is the weather report ever correct? No. You got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11. It's true. We cannot be totally sure, eh? What? How did she pull that off? It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. We need to provide conclusive evidence of this. Come this far. There's no turning back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. Huh! You cannot back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it has already stopped snowing when the victim is killed? Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in a courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, which is one exception, and that is the victim herself, Miss Elise Stoner. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be two sets of tracks. Order! What are you... Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but there is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood they were headed for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder, which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right, but what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe. When I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. But that is impossible! Order, order, order in the court! What does this all mean? So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. That bend, and the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, actually. Two sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. And we've learned all we can from his witness. Yes, yes. I've nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know. But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking up perhaps near Dusky Bridge that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go off wandering like that. Unless they had something real important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may have well gone wandering around that somewhere tonight. Your Honor, actually there might just be one individual who may be of help to us. Really? You know of someone who might have seen a snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not. But there are two things about him that do come to mind. Which are, first, he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being, this individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? Larry Butts is that idiot. This guy might be a product of Jean-Luc Deladoc's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. That is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, Elise Donald. Her student? Interesting. Now, why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell him all about his design for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him, although I cannot guarantee this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him right here in the courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for his trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I am going to get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Ms. Von Karma, please see to prepare the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess.
Yeah, she's only had one half today, so she can take.
But we're not going to stop there. Once I'm done, then I'll take a break.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not really sure what to say.
Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are 2 things which I need to ask you before we reconvene.
Alright, I'll help you any way I can.
First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and taunted you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying.
Mr. Edgeworth, it's just as I said yesterday. Unless the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple.
Very well. The second thing then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 that night. Were you the one who used that snowmobile?
There's only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me.
So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge?
I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth.
Iris.
I can't tell you about that yet.
Yet?
Not until her safety is confirmed.
Her?
The safety of the Acolyte.
The Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Donham?
No matter who or what may come, I can never take a life.
As I thought. No psycholocks. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Kurma, where's the witness?
During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery.
Suspicious behavior?
He was sketching something very intensely.
Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained?
He drew a terrifying woman armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip.
I can only presume that his intention was to capture you.
Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse of an artist before the court. Elise Donham, I hope you're ready. Get in here.
It would seem that her whip is going to see plenty more use today.
Ouch! Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey, how is this artistically rendering? You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look, I'm not but a fletching artist training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use this technical term for the color, Viridian.
Larry, this isn't an art store now, is it?
You know, I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it?
Working in the fields? I presume you wanted to say field work. I hope.
That's it. Thanks, buddy.
It's kind of sad I was able to understand this mangled train wreck of a sentence.
I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I've got nothing to do with this trial. I expect all your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Bright red, or to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Oh no, dude! Stop your pathetic blabbing and testify like a man. Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, it was all your fault. Now testify. This is too much for me. I was at that lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I edgy?
Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony.
I'm just a nobody. Not but a small, worthless man, aren't I? And why wasn't I asking my name and occupation or anything else?
Mr. Edgeworth, this and seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people.
Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy.
Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching, thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time. I'm already going to call bullshit on one of your statements. Larry Butts, I can understand why you might want to throw your own life away. You're pretty pathetic and you'll cause all sorts of trouble.
I'm sorry.
But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you've been, that could be considered a step in the right direction.
Edgy, are you trying to console me?
It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create.
You're totally pinning this on me.
Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts!
That's right, me in the flesh.
Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. The reality will not change.
But what do you want me to do then?
Larry, what you need to do is change your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night, testifying truthfully about that one issue is all I need from you.
Edgy, I think I've finally woken up. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify.
Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder?
I went to the shack around 9, so it would have been about 10:30. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window. The dusky bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. And I ran into Nick.
You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you?
So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burned out. Like, almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains is what caused Nick to fall. What did you say?
Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. I never know what that man if he should be called lucky or unlucky. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that?
The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire. Maybe about 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is this small shack you were from the bridge? Hold on. Well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. It's about a 5-minute walk.
And how did the bridge look when you got there?
Like I had recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids made during school camping trips can compare.
Well, should I press him for a little more info? Larry, let me ask you one thing.
What is it, Edgy? Why is this serious face?
Why didn't you call anyone?
Huh? What do you mean?
Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try and tell someone. There is a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct?
Well, of course I thought of doing that.
So then, let's hear why you didn't.
Huh? Yeah, okay. My reason. Isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone. I just didn't have time to, okay? I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later.
Your very existence being a contradiction, I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not.
What the hey, Edgy? You make me sound like some sort of alien.
But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time.
I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those.
This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what had happened. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, more or less.
I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge. Meaning you probably got there around 11.
That sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and he did his falling act.
That is impossible.
What do you mean?
11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There is no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time.
Ah! Excuse me! I have an objection!
You do?
Edgy! How many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry and Larry's done. Ah!
It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m.
His sister only said around 11. In which case, it could have been earlier than that.
Watch your footing, that is Francisco von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. But there is still no way Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11.
And why not?
It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15, which means what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11, but Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 15 minutes?
I feel like I just got brutally woken up by a toilet splashback. I guess I was still sleeping after all, huh? Hit me.
Ah!
So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that as much of a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all.
Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes and there's a phone right next to it. Why then did you not report the accident? Yes, witness, why didn't you? Were you simply there to watch the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem, for even after the bridge had burned out, he was still there. Staring into space, his witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty.
That's what it sounds like.
Ah, but this is Larry we're talking about, and even he is incapable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction.
Edgy, I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude.
Just as I thought. You've been playing with us all this time.
Listen, I'm going to tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all?
Yes.
I may really say it this time. Everything. Then say it already.
Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this, however.
Let's have this witness finally give us the whole truth.
Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness?
I'm a donut. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching! And from the bridge, I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. The shock and awe I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized that the flames had gone out, and then he came running up.
I suppose artists can be strange folk.
That's right. I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch.
Including the truth from the sound of it. Sir Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him.
Ha ha ha! You'll regret this, Edgy.
I think not.
I'm a donut. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching.
What I want to say is, were you really sketching? Sketching? The burning bridge?
The burning bridge and everything that came with it.
What came with it?
You want to hear this from my lips, don't you, Edgy? You regret this? The sketch of mine is...
Enough.
Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, Witness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean.
Larry, you fucking... That's what I mean. That does indeed appear to have the fastest solution. I'll leave it with you, Mr. Edgeworth. What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling about that instant the sketch is revealed. The entire world will be changed by what it is depicted there. Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please.
Well, even I could have imagined it turn out like this.
But what exactly are you referring to? Imagined what?
And Maurice Dunham's debut would take place here today, like this. Show it, now! Okay, steer clear. Steer yourselves. This is the run of Maurice Dunham.
That is, not bad, actually. Well, so this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma?
Yes, well, it's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames, I really did.
Yes, I'm sure you did. This is going to get ugly.
Are you happy?
No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry!
What?
This burning bridge is fine, but what is that unfortunate-looking figure?
You spotted that? I thought you might.
However much I might want to ignore it, I can't.
It's Iris, of course. Iris! I wish she'd taken better care of herself. You have to plan for her future, you know? What would happen to her if she'd injured herself flying like that?
Larry, please, answer this next question honestly.
Okay.
Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames?
Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist.
Are you high? The girl.
She's really high up in this picture.
Ah, what was that for?
This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Actually, there is some precedent for this. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above that bridge, at least. It was really something to see.
This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. What? Me? The witness is your friend, is he not?
Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth.
Let me just get back under cross-examination by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. So I got another reason to bring this on.
Well, what do you think, my dear piece?
Get that thing away from me! Now hurry up and cross-examine him. What, Hood? Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care.
In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you the whole $1 if that's the truth.
If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain. What might that be? That the person who flew over that bridge could not have been the defendant, Iris.
What? What do you mean? I don't understand. A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolish foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim?
Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood, correct?
Of course she was. That rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. That's what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. My hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench.
Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it as it was Wright who took flight?
What are you talking about?
I think you understand what I mean just fine.
Why? What a Nick of Iris's hood.
What?
Edgy, what's going on with Iris and Nick? Why you, Nick? You dog!
I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited, and discarded straight into the garbage.
What is it now, witness?
It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come.
Edgy, today's the day I get to completely stupefy you.
What? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness?
I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence.
Definitive?
Evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Maurice Stoneham, shall prove it.
I didn't expect to ask this again. We shall be needling your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in the sketch. Show us your evidence of this nightmare was actually a reality.
Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm gonna feed you a whopping serving of pain.
You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time. Trust me.
When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere half buried in the snow. It turned out Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night.
Oh, you fool.
This one, pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. Sphere. Where did you find it?
Let me see. Around here somewhere? That's about right. It was half buried in the snow.
It pretty much stopped snowing by then, but there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge.
I'll help you, Gus.
The court accepts this crystal sphere.
That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward.
There's something on it. Oh my. It's blood! What? Blood?
You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. I like the sound of that. No one's gonna push me around anymore.
Didn't you want to be called Maurice Stoneham only a few minutes ago? Larry, that night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere.
There was? Who? Who is this stupid idiot?
Miss Maurice Stoneham, the mentor to a stupid idiot.
The victim?
I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere.
Hey, that's my photograph. Give it back. A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch.
They look nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. That is the victim's staff found at the scene of the crime.
Ah!
The crystal sphere. It's gone.
What? 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 What?
Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris, after all. She was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. It means
The one who flew and dropped the spear was the victim of Elise Donum? A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that! I saw it with my own 2 eyes! In this crystal sphere, there is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Elise Donham was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all. Miss Francisco von Karma, the only people who will accept their explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe that has nothing to do with the case. That crystal sphere, it was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder? There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent, which is the exact reason he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? No what? All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is relevant to the case. She makes a valid point. There is no evidence that Elise Donham left Hazakura Temple that night. However, somehow the crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed. Then this case is going to transform into something else entirely. In response, Mr. Edgeworth, I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to the case, then the witness whom you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Can I prove the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? Yes, I can. Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. Simply prove it, that's my only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. You will do what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. That should come as no surprise, because right now I am Phoenix Wright and I am indeed cornered. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder.
Take that!
This crystal sphere, it was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right! If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over! The snow would have totally covered it! That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even as if it were ever so slightly. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow in the victim's body. Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. What? Order, order, order! On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge, and there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose. What could that have been? The sphere, there is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge. The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is a fool, and which part is so foolish, Mr. Karma? Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Well, that's not exactly true now, is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing! No, it isn't! You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed.
That statement is the truth. The Dusky Bridge could very easily have been the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed. Thus, there was no bleeding. You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. At least Donan's body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of the events is absolutely also perfectly plausible. Now the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple. On that snowy night, there is one way that the body could have been moved. The snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could have also been used to carry a body. Order, order! This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You've dug yourself into your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? You're too late, Francisco von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that the case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim Elise Dunham really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. Defense stands firm on that point. Itchy! Thank you! That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict until under these circumstances. Gah! Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It's just as I thought. Francisco von Karma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There is one reason and one alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright. Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning, and I wouldn't have let Francie whipping me all... Ouch! Miles Edgeworth. I don't care about what you were here to do. This is my chance to finally grind you under my heel. A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. What a shame, Francie! It's all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You are an affront to all the legal system stands for. I demand satisfaction. I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the question it raises. Have his words here today been truth or lies? Next time we gather in the courtroom, those are the matters that will be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigation by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you. Right. Court is now adjourned. And as we're going to end this one, I'm going to take a kind of a big break, and I shall continue with this final case. Catch you later.